Hi, Tyrell Christians here from Success by Design. A lot of people ask me about my website because they're looking at setting up their own. Thank you for the compliments on what you think my website looks like and how it's been. It's taken a lot of work over the past 2 years, and I'd just like to share with you a bit that so that you know what you can do for yourself if you want to set up your own website. Okay, so it's just a very quick video around what I've done, and if you want to know more, you can always just let me know. So, firstly, you'll see the front page of my website, right? And I have a home page, an about page, a services page with services on them that I actually sell, and people. I have a payment channel connected to take payment from people, a contact us page, and a blog page, right? On my website. And I've set up my website on WordPress because it's the easiest thing for non technical people to do who need to have a website. So if you have a business these days, you have to have a website. I would advise you to use WordPress. There are other alternatives. Some people use Wix. Some people use other design building tools. It's literally like you're moving blocks in to build your website with. But for me, because WordPress powers 1/3 of the internet, so that means 1/3 of websites are actually made on the internet. On the internet are WordPress based. I use that, and because I'm based in South Africa, I use a hosting service provider called Zanilo, and they're fantastic for me. If you're based in your own country, you might want to have a look at things like if Zanilo probably will not be available. So you can look at SiteGround, you can look at GoDaddy, you can look at any other hosting service that's available in your country. Okay, so one thing that immediately you might see differently on my screen that you don't see on yours is I have this black bar, this admin bar. And I have this because I'm the administrator of this website. So automatically when I go to my site, it opens like this, and then I go dashboard, and I look at the back of my website. And what's the big thing here is that at the back of my website, I'd like to show you the plugins that I've used to help build my website. So the first thing I obviously did was I created a WordPress account so that I could have that profile. And then I went ahead and I had to add in a bunch of plugins so that I could actually have a lot more functionality on my website, and do a lot more with these with things on my website. So the plugins give you a lot more functionality, and I'm just going to take you to the plugins that I've installed and just give you a view of what it is that I'm using to enable my website with. And then you can also look at that. So the website theme that I use is called Astra. It's the free version of the theme. Absolutely love it. Then another important element that helps me build every single page is called Elementor. And for a long time, I just used Elementor, the free version. And then there was a great special, and I upgraded to Elementor Pro. And if you do decide to upgrade, I ask that you use my affiliate link, which will be in the description bar. If not, I would appreciate that. I also use another plugin called Invator Elements, so that I can actually have a bit more functionality about what I can put into those blogs. Then the other plugins, and I'll pause on the page so that you can read them, are you get plugins. So from a sales perspective, in order to sell items, services, and products through your website, a very important plugin that you need is WooCommerce. Okay, so WooCommerce enables your website to create products, and for me, my WooCommerce website plugin, along with my LearnDash plugin and LearnDash for WooCommerce integration, is important because I sell courses, right? So if you are buying consulting time with me, it would just be a WooCommerce product. If you are buying one of my courses, it was because I have LearnDash and WooCommerce. So Okay, so besides LearnDash and WooCommerce, the next, I would say, 2 to 3 elements or plugins that are important for me is MailChimp. So when I behind the scenes, I maintain my email list through Mailchimp, and I have an integration there, and that could be a completely different video about MailChimp. I would say to you that if you just want a free account at MailChimp, which I have, um, use MailChimp to start off with. I think it's a great one for beginners. It also allows you to do quite a lot of things if you have under 2,000 contacts. If you were going paid version, and I've tried the paid version with MailChimp, I don't know if it's so much worth it, but I do love their functionality and so forth. But at the same time, I kind of think they're a bit expensive. But yeah, I'll put my affiliate link below for that as well. So that's MailChimp for your mail list, your email list, which is important, so nobody can take that from you. The next two important apps that I use, the one is called Rank Math SEO. So what this does is on every single page that I build, it enables me to know what would be SEO, which is search engine optimization, what would be SEO effective for my website. So things like you need a description here, or it will tell me, your keywords don't, or it will tell me that the keywords that you're saying doesn't really appear in your text on that page, and then I know I'd have to sort of make it work a bit better. The reason why you want to get as SEO compliant as possible is because this helps the search engines like Google, Bing, Chrome, Safari, Firefox to understand what's going on your website, because they read these things, which is in these different categories of your SEO, behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. And that just helps you rank better and people to understand. So when people do searches with these search engines, they understand exactly how they can actually link to you or get information from your site. Another important plugin. Oh, and sorry, Math is free, MailChimp's free. Well, these are the free versions that I'm using right now. Like I said, MailChimp, sometimes I upgrade and I use features, sometimes I don't. Depends on with it. Sometimes I just activate something for a few months. But I'll put all my affiliate links below. I would appreciate it if you were going to make a purchase from them, that you use my affiliate link. If you choose not to, that's fine as well. Just let me know if the info was helpful at least. Then to help me have less spam on my website, so from a security perspective, I use a free plugin from Google, from Best Web Soft, but it's for a Google plugin. It's called the reCAPTCHA. So that's that little icon that appears on your screens, just to say you're not a robot, or type in a word or something. And this helps avoid bots from actually sort of getting on your screen. I don't want to get too technical or anything here. Okay, so starter templates is just a different form of templates that I use. The ultimate add-ons for Gutenberg is also just a different add-on that I use from a styling perspective. Updraft Plus backup and restore is a backup service that I use. I currently have the free version. Because when I did a lot of research on what to enable on my website as a free version, Updraft Plus came up tops. So this is a backup service for my website. So you can back up your website automatically to some place, so that if anything happens to your website, you could go back and restore it. So personally, I back up my website into my Google Drive. But I mean, if you have a Dropbox or anything else, you could do that as well. Like I said, I'll show you a few tricks in terms of getting your website up and running as cheaply as possible. So let's see what's next. Okay, so I've spoken briefly about my WooCommerce plugins. From a payment channel perspective, if people are going to pay you with their credit cards, with their PayPal, with whatever type of payment method that suits them best, you need a payment channel to help you take that payment from that person and place it in your bank account. So, in terms of helping me bring payments from your customers' bank account or card accounts or PayPal accounts into my business bank account, I have two payment channels that I use. So, if you are in South Africa, the payment channel that you see me using is called PayFast, which PayFast, Peach Payments, Ozo, those are those types of payment options. For me, I would pay fast because I think that their service is good and it's pay as you go. So that's quite useful. So I use PayFast. So I plug that into my WooCommerce plugin so that I can facilitate that payment and it's secured on my side and secured on the customer side. Very important security. Okay. Then with PayPal, if you're outside of South Africa, on my website, you see my prices in US dollars because that's just the most convenient thing that people globally would understand. Not a lot of people, I think, internationally can quickly convert from South African rands to US dollars or to their local currency, euro, um, Australian dollar or whatever. So getting it in USD, people sort of immediately have a reference point of how much to charge. When you set up your website, you set up WooCommerce initially. It will ask you what is your preference for currency. My preference in the South African context is rand because that is what the my customer base would understand immediately. And then outside of it, I believe my customers relate much easier to a USD price point. And I can take payments via PayPal internationally as well as PayFast internationally. Okay, so those are just different plugins. And in order to make all of that happen, that currency switch, I use a WooCommerce currency switcher plugin so that I can actually take payments into different currencies. Again, I have a free version. If you'd like to upgrade to Pro, you can do so as well. And I think you could have it almost like every currency possible if that's what you wanted. It automatically can sort of detect the IP address where this person is coming from, and then of course convert to that currency at that. So that's very complicated. You could make a video on that on its own, but this is just an overview video of what's at the back there of WordPress. Then two other things from a security one perspective. I do have a plugin called WordFence Security, which is just a free download that comes with it that works great. Then I have a paid for plugin for speed of my website called VW Rocket. And this helps me actually, my system move as fast as possible so that pictures and different things don't take time to load. You'll see on my website, I like to sort of enter things and it floats in and it moves in and it moves to different things. And that all takes time. That takes power to do that. So by having the VP Rocket plug-in, it helps it cache it faster so that you as a customer or user on the other side, your experience is so much better with less delay. So I went for a paid version there, VP Rocket. Prior to having the paid version, the best free version that I used, which I used for a bit in the beginning, was W3 Cache, and I'll put that below. Then the last but not least, I also use a plugin called VP Forms Lite, and this helps me take people's details on my site that want to be added to my list so that when I do send out a newsletter or an alert, and I'm not like a frequent newsletter type of person, probably like once a quarter, they then get all of that information. So that's just a look at my plugin. I'll just briefly go through all of them so that you can see if there's one plugin that you're specifically interested in. Okay, so now you've seen a list of the plugins that I'm using behind my website to power it to make everything happen that you're seeing on the front end. And what I just want to do is give you a tour or a little explanation about the main WordPress features itself, so that you have an overview of that. Okay, so WordPress, your pages that you flow to, you create here, right? All these pages. This is your home page, your about page, your services or products page, your contact page. You create pages using pages. Then, if you're making blog posts, you'd do that using blog posts. You'd go here, you'd create a blog post page to be blog post to begin with, and then for me, I use to build that page and make it look very pretty. I use Elementor within that page. RankMath, which we spoke about, the free plugin for SEO. WooCommerce, which is your plugin so that you can enable sales on your website. That's a list of my products, the analytics there, the marketing there. Elementor, which is my main page builder plugin. Templates for pages that I have actually created. These are saved templates that I have. I don't know, maybe some people would find it useful. Let me know. Elements, which is also a page building tool, blocks that I use on the website, the plugin I showed you earlier. VB Forms, so that for me was the best free version of forms that I use to collect people's information. And then this is user tabs, where you can add different users to your website with different levels of functionality if that's what you need. Different tools and settings also that can work. Let me just move the little bubble to the side here. Then you can see this is the WordPress MailChimp plugin, my Insights plugin. Oh yeah, I have another plugin for SEO which I tried out first. I'm on the fence a little bit about it. The reCAPTCHA plugin settings, the WordPress, which is the security setting. Yeah, so behind the scenes, that's a little bit about WordPress functionality. And the main plugins that I have to use to run my website with. So thanks for checking out my website with me. I will put links to all my plugins, which where possible, it'll be affiliate links, because I would appreciate it if you do buy any of the products that I use, that I get a small commission from it. And then I just ask, let me know if you want me to do any more videos on anything specific in terms of that you'd find useful. I have a MailChimp account to help me manage my email list, and you can have a free account. I have other different tools that I use to help me run my business as cost effectively as possible. And you can do the same. This is not a hard thing to do. If I could sit and build a website, so can you. Let me know if I can help. Take care. Thank you.